win yourself some sweet new gaming gear.
So to start out with, let's take a look at the Razer Huntsman Mini, which has the same very clicky switch that I'm used to that I actually use in my Razer Huntsman Elite at home. So I always sort of gravitated toward the much more clicky style. Now, there are actually advantages and disadvantages to the various different ones, beyond just your own personal preference. So for
now I had a map.
I like this, but also just
alright, use it on your
right? You know, you're
wait, no, you can't. That one
your
you can't.
essay, your report on why I can't spend all the company money. This gives you a little bit more of that sort of satisfying click. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have a linear keyboard. This is much quieter, as you can hear, but essentially, instead of having that sort of very distinctive click, you press it down and then you get the click. This is completely, as the name implies, linear from top to bottom.
Okay, I think this is it.
Generally speaking, better as a gaming keyboard. Now, what you get here is something that doesn't have that, like, it doesn't have that same kind of feel, especially doesn't have that same kind of sound. You have to think about it.
Hold up, why is there a heart?
Using a handful of keys for hours at a
Where?
time. There are a couple of things you want.
Why is there a heart in
It be a very quick sort of key. In fact, actually, if you look at the Huntsman, the tournament edition, this is a very light linear switch for the exact same reason, right? It's sort of very quick to kind of pop up. It's also very quick to press down, and it's not going to be super heavy so your fingers are tired after hours and hours.
Are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
No, I don't do that, but I'm sure people play lots of. Anyway.
Don't overpay for Best Buy. WikiBuy saves you money. It's a browser extension that automatically applies coupon codes to your shopping cart. It's super easy to use and it's free. So do yourself and your wallet a favor and try WikiBuy.
I'm still trying to get used to this new sense, to be honest.
Bro, do you see those quick edits, bro?
Yes, sir.
But though that took me a bit to get that handled.
So, linear, very different style of
Okay,
key.
3, 2, 1, go.
Blend the two, you get what is known as a tactile switch. So essentially, it has a lot of the same advantages of a linear switch, but as you can hear, you have a little bit more of an actual click. So this pretty much has no click, right? It just goes all the way down, and it's the feel is just like straight. You know, there's a little bit of a bump when you press it. You actually more feel it because like right, right. So,
oh, if I actually
you know,
hit
it goes
that.
down a little bit, and then it drops. Same thing with this guy, right? But you have a much more pronounced click, and of course, you get a lot more. Yeah. Basically, it's all about confirmation. Do you want to have the audible and physical confirmation, or do you just want the physical confirmation, or no confirmation at all? And that just depends. So you can spend as much money as you want customizing these keyboards, but you actually don't have to spend a crazy amount. So probably the cheapest one that I have here is this SK64 board. So this has hot swappable switches for optical mechanical switches, so kind of like the Razer. This board with the keycaps and the switches themselves costs about $90 on Shein. Not bad. Not too bad at all. I love the NES style color scheme. It's a cool color scheme, right? And again, it came with all of this stuff already. The only thing I had to buy apart from that was I ended up taking the liberty of getting some kit stuff to help with the process of, you know, taking the keys out, right? So as I pop that guy off, well, don't worry about it. With a little bit of labor, you can actually make these feel and sound better than they did before.
Ah!
This apart.
My keyboard in the house!
These extra little steps here, those are stabilizers.
Oh.
Those are for the longer keys
I hit that.
kind of need a little bit of stability.
I really hit that.
On the other end of it, so this is a Master Control. We've looked at a lot of these on the channel. The Master Control is one of the ones that you see around on the internet a lot. The biggest thing is that this keyboard on its own costs around, I think, 200, if not slightly more than 200. But you can hot swap the switches off these things to whatever you want. Again, these Gateron and
Oh my
switches
God, I keep
right
missing
here. I think this is a lot of money though for what you can get. I actually found that for $120, this GMMK pack board is actually a really good balance of price and quality. So once you here, well, this keyboard's interesting because what you've done is you've given it those linear switches, but then you put these very extra caps on. want to have to pay respect, so you don't want your finger to fly off of it. But on the flip side, it means it's a little bit harder to move from key to key. Also, the keycaps themselves are about $90 to drop. So in Amazon too, we have splitting keycaps in this really nice like cyan and pink color.
Yeah.
These were only about $15 on Amazon. So you can go either really crazy at $80, you can get even more for like a couple. You can get them for like $200 if you really want to, or you can get something really cheap. But of course, the feel is different.
Hold on, I gotta reload my gun.
More substantial, a little thicker. These are obviously a little cheaper plastic, a little lighter as well. There's a lot
Ready,
of
set,
cheese
go.
also happens. Keyboards are
Oh, sorry, I didn't even place that on
$50.
there.
So I think at this point we have a good sense for the various keyboards we have, the different switches, the different caps, the different sort of chassis. So now, just want to try to practice. So let's put this way. The first step is to get a computer in here. We should probably get that set up. There we go. There we go. Okay, we got a computer. And I think what you should do is we'll start with a typing test. Literally, let's see which one you like to type on the most. Okay. And then we'll go into gaming and we'll see which one you like gaming the most. And then you can kind of just gather opinions, and then we'll see which one walks away your favorite. Okay, I like that. Don't forget, you need to watch the video. Next up, we're about to do the most extreme keyboard test possible. I'm about to try all of these keyboards in a wide variety of challenging conditions. I'm about to find out which is the ultimate.
If you say something like that, it's more interesting. Otherwise, I'm boring. They're just like,
You did that for the 4 people that are left. Good job.
okay. They can't figure out how to find this game key on their custom keyboard, so they're stuck on the video.
This is the big red one. Yeah. That's not good, actually. In front of it. So to start out with, let's try the Clemson, which I'm a little more comfortable with. So. 74 words per minute. So that's about right. I can be a little bit faster, but okay. That's, I think, a pretty good baseline. So obviously, this is something I'm really comfortable with. Let's try one of the linears. Verizon knows how to build.
Oh!
Start with America's most awarded network.
Oh!
Give people more plans to use.
Oh!
And a price built for everyone. With
I almost
$700
tried to
when you
pickaxe
switch,
the
because everyone
the
deserves the
actual
best.
thing.
Oh my god!
You know, I just realized something.